Hey everybody, and welcome back to World War II Solitaire board game channel. We're gonna do another playthrough of Panzer Dice Eastern Front. One great thing about this game is something that I wish every solitaire game had, and it's a difficulty level. So basically, my previous game, if you missed that, I played and got pretty banged up by panzers. I played on normal difficulty level. But there are certain things you can do according to the rules to decrease the difficulty level to an easy difficulty level. So basically there are three modifications which you can see on your last page of the rules. And the first thing you will do is always use only one Panzer fire dice, ignoring the color of the hexagons on the field. And basically what that means is we have two Panzer fire dice. We will roll these to see which of these panzers will fire on us. And if we are on a white hexagon, we will roll one die. If we are on a gray one, we will roll both of them. But with this easy mode, you will only roll one, even if you're on a gray hexagon. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. Anyway, so let's get rid of one of these Panzer fire dice. That's the third of the three modification you do on easy mode. The next one is the firepower of the Panzer dice is always 1, but your armor remains according to your score. So that's a little bit harder to decipher, but I think what it basically means is these panzers which will fire on you, which can fire all the way from 1 to 3, they will always just do 1 damage. They will never do damage according to their strength, because remember, they can be all the way from 1 to number 3 in strength. So this one would, for example, do 3 damage to my turret and cannon, but with that easy rule it will always do 1 damage no matter the strength, so just 1 damage. So that's the second out of third modification you'll do on easy setting. The last, and actually I like this one, this is my favorite modification, I even use it when I play normally, even if I don't use the first two ones, is it is not necessary to finish the movement of your T-34 on the field to obtain objectives from villages. That is, in a move action on the field, you can go through a village hex, roll a die to find infantry items, and then continue advancing if dice allow it. And basically what that means is when we are moving through this map, we will go through villages normally to roll to, because you will roll with this chart a 6-sided die, and normally you would have to stop in the villages to receive your items. So say for example I would have my tank here and then I have 2 movement points. I would have to stop here and not move 2 times, so just move 1 time to receive those items. But with this easy rule, all you have to do is pass those villages to be able to roll for items found by the infantry in these villages. So that's a great modification, I think, and I prefer that one. So those are the 3 modifications that we will use to have an easier game, and hopefully that means that this time I will get a little bit further to the finish line, and maybe you'll see some other stuff. I would like you to see the bombing, how that's done, and I would like you to see how you roll for items in villages. It's all quite simple, but it's also quite fun. So let's get going, guys. So we'll start by rolling 1 dice to see where we start, and we start, oops, that's the wrong cube. We start in location number 4. So that's where we are. So first phase of the first game, which is, get out of there, dog hair, rolling 6 dice. And let's see, we have quite a good roll. We have 2 enemy panzers. Then we have 1 radio orders, which you can turn into any kind of die. We have 1 repair that's going to be wasted since we don't have anything to repair right now. And then we have 2 move on the fields. So first let's place out these panzer dice, and I'm going to go ahead and put 1 on the left flank and 1 on the right flank. And I mean, this is also like a strategic option. For example, you could spread them out. So you know, if I roll a 4 and 6 now, or a 2 and 5, I will get hit. So chances are big, you know, pretty big I'll get hit. But if I move this one here, we eliminate at least the 5 and 2. We do add a 3, but you know, the 6, we already had that one. There's a risk with this though, because if I roll a 6 now, I mean, I'm gonna get hits from both of these panzers. So basically, you know, you can think about the different risks and so on, and come up with a good strategy on how to place your enemy panzers. So we have a radio orders. I'm going to go ahead with the radio orders. You can change the result of this dice to any result. So I'm changing that into a 6. I have a repair. There's nothing to repair though, so that's lost. And then I have free move on the field. So the first one, that's 1 move. Each additional die is 2 moves. So that's a total of 5 moves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go ahead and move straight up north, and we stop in a village. So that means this time we're actually going to get to roll to see if we find some cool items in the village. Rolling 1d6, and we see number 6 here. I can choose to find 2 grenade launcher anti-tank plus 3 fuel or 2 flamethrowers. I'm gonna go ahead and choose the fuel and the grenade launcher anti-tank, so I'll mark it by 2 there. The fuel, remember I spent 5 fuel going down to 18, but then I gained 3 fuel from the village, so we'll adjust the fuel marker accordingly. And that's it for us. Now we go on to the last phase of the turn, is seeing if we get some panzer firing on us, rolling our panzer dice, or panzer fire dice. And look at that, guys, we get number 6. That's what I told you about. That's a dangerous one. Luckily now we are playing on easy difficulty, so we will just take 1 hit from each panzer. I think that's more fair. Otherwise I would have taken 3 hits from him and 2 hits from him. But I think this way is more fair. I like it better. Okay, so it's our turn again. We go to next turn, and we have 4 dice. 2 of our 6 basic dice are locked by those enemy panzers. And look at that, guys. No more enemy panzers. We get 2 repairs, 1 shooting, and 1 move on the field. So our repairs, not much of a choice. We have 2 damage, so we'll repair that. Then we have a shooting. We're going to shoot at this panzer, and we will decrease our ammunition by 1. And then we have 1 move on the field. Let's see what I want to go. Kind of planning my route. I think I'm going to go ahead and move north. Yeah, I'll just move 1 step north, decrease my fuel by 1. And that's it for me. Time to roll for Panzer Fire. We roll a 5, and there's no hit, because the only guy who would have fired would have been him, and there's no Panzer there. So, next turn. Let's roll our 4 remaining dice, and look at that, guys, we're lucky again. Okay, we got 2 repairs. We have nothing to repair, but that's fine, because we do get 2 movements. That's very nice. Remember, the first one is 1 movement. Each additional die is 2 movements. So that's a total of 3 movement points. So first of all, we go through the village, and then we go into a fuel point. So we gain 1 fuel, 3 movement. So that's 1, 2, 3 movement, and then we gain 1 fuel from the fuel on the map. And then we also roll for the village that we passed. And we roll a 5. So the 5 is going to give us either 3 gasoline plus 3 Molotov cocktails, or 3 bomb dogs. Actually, the bomb dogs are pretty goddamn good. So I'm going to go ahead and get those. So I'm going to get 3 bomb dogs. And then we're going to go ahead and roll. Let's see, I did decrease my fuel. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and roll for Panzer Fire. Let's see, I might want to fire at these guys. Okay, because you can use these items at any time in the game. However, I feel like I have so much health, so I'm just gonna let them fire. Let's see, I rolled a number 3, so I will take 1 hit from this panzer, but I'm still good to go. Okay, so let's go again. Whoops, I took one of those. Should have done that. Let's reroll this one. Okay, you see, sometimes you know, you're so lucky with your rolls. I certainly wasn't this lucky during my first turn or first game. So we have 1 radio orders. I'll change that into a movement order. 2 repairs. I'll use one of those to repair myself. Then we have a shooting. I will shoot at this panzer, taking him out, decreasing my ammunition by 1, and then tracking panzers destroyed here for my first one destroyed. After you destroyed 20, you shall receive some ammunition, I believe. Alright, so the shooting is done. We have a move on the field. I'm gonna go ahead and move 1 step north, decrease my fuel by 1. And then we have a panzer. Let's see if he fires. We roll a 1, so nope, he does not fire. Let's go to the next turn. So let's roll our dice. Ooh, look at that, we're getting some more panzers now. But we are also getting a lot of good move orders and radio orders. And I think you can guess what I'm going to do with my radio orders. I'm going to change them to move orders, move on the field. Because my strategy is getting the heck out of here as fast as possible. Okay, we're going to put our die here. Alright. So now we go into the movement phase. I'm going to go ahead and move, let's see, all of these. So that's total of 5 movement points. Let's go straight up north, I guess. Oh, I kind of want to avoid these guys. Okay, I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5, I will decrease my fuel by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I will go up 1, since I got the fuel from the map. And I will also roll a d6 for passing this village. I roll a 5 again. Look at that, guys. I'm going to go ahead now and get 3 gas and then 3 Molotov cocktails instead of the 3 bomb dogs, since I already got 3 of those. Let's see, 3 fuel, so I got up to 16 fuel again. So fuel is looking good, ammunition is looking good, armor is looking good. Let's see what we can do about these tanks. Because now I'm going to roll for a tank fire, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bomb dog, I believe. Let's see. 2 Molotov cocktails. 2 equals 1 shot against a panzer. Okay, so I'll use one of those Molotov cocktails on... No, just this is 1 shot. 1 equals 1 shot against a panzer or an anti-tank cannon. Okay, so I'll use my grenade launchers to take out this guy. And then I'm going to go ahead and use 2 bomb dogs to take out these 2 guys. And that means I take out all of these panzers. And actually, when you clear the field of panzers, you get 1 additional movement. And that additional movement, I'm going to move up here into another village, rolling 1 more time for items. I roll a 1. So again, I can choose between 3 Molotov cocktails or 2 smoke grenades and 2 fuel. I'm going to go ahead and take the Molotov cocktails and be happy with that. One note about these items are you can only carry 4 different kinds. There's 6 different kinds, so 4 at a time and 5 of each. Okay guys, so we have 6 dice to roll now. We have taken out all of those panzers. And look at that, looks like a pretty good roll, or maybe not. Okay, we get 2 move on the fields, we get 2 enemy panzers and 2 wasted repairs, since we don't have currently any damage to our T-34, T-34 tank. Okay, so we have 2 panzers. We're gonna go ahead and place them out. Let's see. I'm gonna put them over here. There we go. And now we have to move on the field. Let's see, I want to dodge these AT guns, so that's going to be 3 movement points. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move up to this one. And Molotov cocktail reads 2 equals 1 shot against a Panzer, 1 equals 1 shot against an AT tank gun. So I use one of those Molotov cocktails to actually take out that AT gun. So I don't have to take the damage. Otherwise, there's a number under it. I would have had to take 1 damage. Okay, so our movement is done. We have to decrease fuel by 1, 2, 3 as we move 3 movement turns. And now we are going to go ahead and roll for our panzers. We roll number 1, and that means the panzer on my left side have taken 1 shot at me. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and roll again. And we have 2 more panzers, 1 movement order and 1 shooting order. So the panzers, let's just place them out over here. I'm gonna decrease this shoot at this guy with my shooting here, 1, decreasing my ammunition by 1. And let's see, I had a move on the field. I move up north, decreasing my fuel by 1. And then we have 4 enemy panzers. I'm going to go ahead and use my, let's see, 1 bomb dog, which takes out this guy. Then I have Molotov cocktails, 2 equals 1 shot. So I have 4 of them, so that's total 2 shots, so that takes this guy out. So these are my remaining enemies. I'll roll for the Panzer. And we roll a 4. So none of them hit me. I was lucky enough to take out that guy that would have hit me. And that's the end of that turn. Okay, let's see if I can make it. I'm getting close, but not getting the dice I want. Getting 2 panzers again and 2 repairs. So we're gonna place out the panzers like that. The repairs we have 2, but we only need to repair 1 point. And then we'll roll for so many dog hairs here. We'll roll for the Panzer Fire, and we roll a 5. So that means this guy is gonna hit us once on our right side shield. Not too bad. Okay, let's go. We have only 2 dice now. It's starting to look hairy. Look at that, guys. We have another Panzer. So we have a repair here. We're going to go ahead and repair our only damage. And then roll for Panzer Fire. I'm guaranteed to get hit. We have number 5 here. So we're going to take 1 damage again on our right side shield. I'm getting so confused because it says left side shield on my right side. But anyway, it's our right side shield, taking 1 damage because of this guy. Okay, let's roll our dice again. And now I'm hoping to get a Panzer, because a Panzer would initiate a bombing. But we get a radio order. I'm going to turn that into a move order and move north. And that's not going to cost me any fuel, as you can see that I enter a hexagon with a jerry tank. So that gives me 1 fuel. And we shall roll for Panzer Fire again. We roll number 3, so that's going to be 1 hit on our turret and cannon and 1 hit on our right side shield. We are getting close. Radio orders again. So we choose a move on the field. We are 1 space away from victory now, guys. Decreasing our fuel by 1. We have 10 fuel left. And now rolling for Panzer Fire. Number 3 again. So that means again our turret and cannon and our right side shield. Okay, rolling again our basic dice, and it's a number 1 again, radio orders, which again we turn into a move on the field, and we move north, decrease our fuel by 1, and we reach the flag. And that means that we have won the game. And just for fun, guys, I want to show you what would have happened if I would have rolled a 2 or a 3. Let's see if we can get a natural 2 or a 3 without me cheating. There we go, we get a 3. So we get a 3, and there's no place to place that panzer, so there would be a bombing. Basically, the Ilyushin Russian airplanes would come bombing all of these tanks. They would go away. I would be given, I could do a repair or a move on the field, one of those. And then we would switch this one to Stuka. And then, when it would happen a second time that we get a panzer which we can't place, again all of the tanks would go away, and except this time there's an enemy bomber, so we would take 1 damage on all our sides, or both our sides and the turret and the cannon, and then, you know, these would be unlocked again. And this would go back to the Ilyushin bombers. So that's how the bombers work. Anyway, guys, really nice game. As you can see, there are ways to modify this game to make it easier. I think with these amazing rolls I had this game, perhaps I would have even been able to win during the normal mode. One thing that you can note with the difficulty level is that you have these 3 modifications, and of course you're never forced to use all of those 3 modifications at once. You can, of course, you can choose to just use one of them, like for example the one where the tanks only do 1 damage, or you could use, you know, perhaps the first 2, the first one where you only roll 1 fire dice, and the second one where you always get an item even if you only pass through the village. So you can combine them anyway to find appropriate difficulty level for you. One way I like to do it is I kind of like to work myself up there. So I'll start by introducing just all of them, all of the, you know, helping modifications, and then as I win I remove 1 by 1 until finally I remove all 3 easy rule modifications, and I clear the game on normal difficulty level. That's what I love with these solitaire games which has difficulty levels, because you kinda you know, you get a feeling of achievement as you progress through the game, and you know, you complete the game on harder and harder, and that's a great feeling of progress. It gives me a great motivation to keep playing. I just love playing games that way. So for all of you guys who are designing these solitaire games and also introducing difficulty levels, kudos to you. Really well done. It's a good way to keep the player engaged, I think. It can be really discouraging with games like, for example, let's say Field Commander Rommel, which indeed has difficulty level settings on scenario number 2 and 3, but the first scenario only has difficulty settings making it harder, and the first scenario itself is super hard, and that's so discouraging, because when you start a game and you just get your ass kicked over and over again, and you don't see a chance, not even a small chance to, you know, be able to win, that's really discouraging. So this is really nice, being able to work yourself up there. Anyway, guys, that's Panzer Dice Eastern Front. Even though there are some problems with the rules, which they are working on, I do highly recommend this game. It's actually quite fun. And I can't wait for the updated rules. For 99 cents, this is definitely worth it. Alright guys, stay tuned, please subscribe, and see you next time.